Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach,
the podcast where fitness is more about fun than form.
I'm Sara, the fitness expert who lifts heavy and loves a good challenge.
And I'm Caleigh, a newbie who runs more for survival than sport.
We're here to remind you that fitness doesn't have to be serious,
but we definitely take the snacks seriously.
So if you're looking for some laughs and a few questionable fitness tips,
you've come to the right place. Welcome to season 5. Hey guys, welcome back to Nacho Fitness Coach, the podcast where we Google our fitness facts in real time so you don't have to. I'm Caleigh, and next to me is my co-host Sara, who's tall, blonde, fit, and still always angry for some reason.
It's like, how is that possible that those things all go together?
I don't get it.
I don't know, but I just get wrapped up into one package.
Somehow.
I do.
It's fine. Angry Barbie. I don't know what you have to be mad about, but that's all right. We love you for it. It's fine.
It's like, why does she always look angry?
You just don't always look angry. You are angry. Yeah, we did an episode a while back, a couple episodes ago, where I just felt like I just got my ass chewed. I didn't even do anything wrong.
Is it that bad? Like, no, do I rant that bad or soapbox?
It's fine. Whatever? It's just who you are. It's the way that you are.
I'm just a direct person.
You are.
Is that what it is? Direct, honest, straightforward. I really honestly do feel like I should be living in New York City.
Probably.
Because I'm a much better fit for my personality on the East Coast.
Yeah, you're probably right. You don't have much of a Midwestern.
I'm not a warm and fuzzy person. If you want me to put on like bells and whistles and like plan some sort of welcome home party for you, I'm not your girl.
You're not.
I won't throw showers or plan parties or I'll come.
That's what.
If you, I will be a participant in a party that is attend.
Sorry, that was a trigger word.
I will attend parties that are thrown by other people, maybe on your behalf, but only if it's like the first one. Like I have rules, but it's fine.
No, don't go home and lose sleep over my silly little intro.
No. So, oh my gosh, but that's pretty good. I know. I'm really excited to continue to come up with for season 5 these extra little fun intros that you're kind of re-bringing up our personalities. You're doing great. I love it. So, all right. So back in season 4, episode 16, we were having a conversation and we referenced being able to maybe talk in a little bit more detail at a future episode about like workouts and workout structure and what does that look like in a little bit more detail. And so
I don't remember, but I believe you.
Yeah, I took note of it just to make sure we came back to it and addressed it at some point. So here we are and here we go. And this is, I think, maybe kind of what we have an opportunity to talk about a little bit today. I don't know. What are your current workouts looking like, Caleigh?
It's still very similar to what we were doing in season 4, where I'm doing following the Daniel Rosenthal Beginner's Guide to Strength Training, where it's I don't know, I haven't revisited it as far as to like hone in on, but it was like the hip hinge, the squat, the push, pull, and core.
Are you getting infrequent exercise occurrences right now? Like, are you working out? Like, how frequently are you working out right now?
Yeah, it's been a weird year.
There's a lot of things that have been weird.
For me. for a lot of people.
It's a cycle.
It was a weird because I had like this whole, I don't know, transformation journey, whatever. I was feeling really good.
You hit into maintenance mode.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. But it was like, I woke up it was like a good start of the year. And then sometime around June, I don't know, I woke up and my brain was like, listen, actually, you're a piece of shit who doesn't deserve to feel good about anything.
Oh.
You're doing horribly in every aspect of your life. You're a horrible mother. You're a horrible friend. You shouldn't be working out because what's the point? And I was like, dang, brain.
You're right. Maybe I just shouldn't.
Why we got to do this right now? So it was a rough summer.
And that happened in the summer. I feel like a lot of times those will happen with like winter.
Yeah.
Or like seasonal blues.
It was a summer thing. It was really weird. And it was just like, it hit me hard. I went, me and my mental health went a couple rounds this year. And I took a couple hits. And I'm fine.
Punched me back out. Did you hop back on the Twisted Tea bandwagon?
Well, I mean,
a little bit.
I more so than like I'd like, because I started the year off, I was like, I'm not drinking this year unless like, you know, it's like an event or whatever. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm not like drinking on weeknights or drinking like for no reason necessarily.
You really didn't have a habit of drinking on weeknights even before, was it? I mean, it was just like binging on the weekends.
Yeah, kind of. I think there were probably spurts there where probably some weeknight drinking, but that was a long time ago.
Right.
But no, I mean, I wouldn't say I went back to that, but I have consumed more than I planned on back in, you know, the new year. So yeah, it's just been a weird year. But here's what I will say. I had the tools in place to know how to like come back from that. I never had to start back from zero. I never had to like relearn how to do everything. I already knew what I needed to be doing, and whether I did that or not, it wasn't like I have to figure it all out again. So, you know, I took some breaks here and there. I think like June, I don't think I picked up a weight in June at all, which is fine, but I was able to get back to it. So no, I'm not like lifting hard. I wouldn't say I'm like making, you know, huge strides in the workout space. We are right now, we're working out outside in the mornings out in our, like, we have a Quonset shop, and we moved all the gym equipment out there except for the treadmill. And so we've been working out there. It's starting to get cold, so we'll see how long
the mornings have a little
that
chilly.
lasts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was kind of nice. It was nice to get like a change of scenery, kind of. So it's been good. Mm-hmm. I aim for 3 days a week.
Do you get there?
I aim for it.
I know. I caught that part. Words matter. I mean, you're better at it than I am at this point. I mean, I went through a spurt where I started getting a few in a week, and I was like, okay, this is great. Like, this is the beginning. And then
it kind of petered out.
It did. All of a sudden I got heads deep in trying to like study for this new certification. And I was like, I need to use this time to just binge through all this information and get freshened up to pass my test.
Well,
so
it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, there's not enough hours in the day. But it was just like, and it wasn't like a day issue. It was just like, I homeschool my kids, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. And then we have the podcast stuff going on, and I do all the social media, and I'm trying to like plan curriculum for my kids. And it's just like, I know people have a lot more shit going on, but it just was like, everything kind of, once I think I hit the point where I realized I had to start planning for a new year of school and what a big task that was going to be. I think I just kind of like shut down and couldn't. And that's my problem, is that when things start feeling too big, I just like get paralyzed. I'm like, I can't do any of it, instead of just doing what you can. I'm like, well, I just can't do any of it.
Right.
So it's kind of where I've been. It's fine. I'm fine.
Trait?
I'm totally fine.
One of your toxic traits
probably would
the number one biggest
qualify as a toxic trait.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like productivity paralysis or something, where it's just like, if I can't do everything perfectly, then I'm not going to do anything at all. And then you feel like a piece of shit.
Because you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
You're like, well, something would be better than nothing. And then you go through all those cliches. Like, oh my gosh. Well, that is obviously probably the most important part, is like finding some sort of routine and pattern. I mean, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, but it starts there and you can slowly build from that. But it does make a difference just carving out that time or being mindful of scheduling that time for yourself, whether that's early in the morning or midday or whatever it can be. So, first of all, you gotta plan your schedule a little bit. You really can't just, that's like adulting 101.
Right.
Turns out you kind of have to be organized and have somewhat of a schedule.
A couple things I would not let go was, I have a very meticulous sleep schedule, and I have not battled with that in a long time. We go to bed at 9, we wake up at 5, no matter what. So I've always still had that. And so, and then if I'm not going to do a workout in the morning for whatever reason, I get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Like, that's like bare minimum, basically like I didn't do anything today.
But from 2 years ago, that is a solid foundation than like you didn't even have back then. No. So to know that, okay, you're right. You're not going back to zero. Yeah. You at least did those 2 things for yourself, and that makes a big difference. Because can you imagine how much that would have compounded if you would have started saying missing an extra hour or 2 of sleep every single night because you stayed up and watched that extra show, or was it?
Or stayed up and then slept in until 9 and I'm getting up when my kids are getting up. Like that was a nightmare. I have no interest in going back to.
Yeah, that is definitely another adulting thing that I feel like you kind of at some point have to put on your big girl, big boy panties and be like, I need to protect my schedule.
I thought we talked about not using the word panties.
That was pantry, wasn't it?
Well, because of panties.
Okay, so with that, we're going to take just a quick little ad break. So Caleigh, what if I told you could finally have me, but not have to pay for me?
Did you finally start an OnlyFans account?
No, that you have to pay for.
Oh.
What I'm talking about is free access to all my curriculum, online modules, and ebooks on sarasutherlandfitness.com.
Wow.
If you just go to the website in the top right, click log in, create an account, you will get access to all of the content that I use in my coaching programs for free.
Is that available for us guys too?
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. You go ahead and you log in too. Create your account, and as long as you create your access before December 31st, you'll have lifetime access to all the content that I use in my coaching program. So are you going to go on?
I'm going right now.
And log in, sarasutherlandfitness.com. Click login, create an account today.
All right, we're back.
So the theme of season 5 so far is like all of Caleigh's trigger words. And at this point we have quite a big list, and this is only episode 3.
That's a different trigger word. That's not a trigger word like that. That's like it just like makes me uncomfortable.
Like a cringy. Okay.
Like moist.
God. Yeah, that just drive people nuts.
I don't mind the word moist, but
you just don't like
I don't
panties.
like the word panties.
So what would you prefer that they're called?
Like underbunders.
Not even underwear?
Skib dibs.
Okay. All right. So no under wonder under dunders. Under wonder, what'd you say? Under dunders?
Oh, that was great. It was underbunders.
There's not even a B.
What?
Like, underwear, there's no B's. You like underbunder.
Well, rhymes. Underbunder.
Oh. But under wonders.
No. You could call them underwonders if you want to. That'd be fun.
Well, while we're making up words, we can really just we can call them whatever we want.
Just not panties. That's all I ask.
Is that so hard?
Skib dibs, underbunders, chonies.
What? Whoa, that's not all the same thing, is it?
Yeah. You can call them chonies.
What? How would you spell that?
S-H-O.
Oh, Shoni? I think you said Choni.
Chonies.
Okay. But it starts with an S?
I don't know. It's like I'm being really put on the spot here. All I asked was that you don't say panties.
I was curious that if you don't use that word, like what word you use?
If I'm telling one of my kids to go put on your
underbunders or under what?
I would say underbunders. Undies.
Undies? Okay.
I might say undies. I like underbunders.
That one I've heard before.
Underbunders.
Huh. Yeah. Just had never heard those words before.
Skivvies, chonies.
The chonies one throws me off. I don't really know how to respond to that.
Alan, you want to weigh in?
No, he probably doesn't.
I'm weightless right now.
What do you call unders?
Boxers or briefs or...
Neither, because I wear none.
Oh, no.
Whitey tighties.
Oh, whitey tighties.
Yeah. Oh. Boxers, briefs. I mean, those are like the guy versions, I think. Yeah. I just had not heard this like all the different vocabulary for the female version.
What do you, when you tell your kids to go put on their undergarments, what do you say? You say undergarments?
Undergarments. Panties.
You say panties?
The girls? Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Underwear. I think maybe underwear.
There we go.
Underwear.
We took the long way. We can call it underwear.
Yeah, we can just settle on that one. Okay.
All right.
It's all encompassing term now.
What's this episode about?
Workout structure. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I was just, kind of revisiting like what our current schedules look like. And so if we wanted to talk about a little bit more detail of like what a workout structure should look like.
So we're talking about the actual workout.
Let's say you want to get into a more consistent workout routine.
Yeah.
What should that look like? I mean, obviously there's a lot of free resources out there. You can go and find a lot of different things, but it's also good to kind of get a general understanding of what a good workout structure looks like, because there's also a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah.
And so, you kind of actually referred to some of the major movement patterns already, right? So you want to have something that's a squat, a hinge, the push, the pull, and then some core work.
Yeah.
I will actually now also add, I really do feel like some good mobility work. I know, but it's not stretching. Like everyone pictures static stretching, and it's not that. It's not like the isometric holds. It's not, all of that stuff that we remember from like the 90s and early 2000s. It's just getting your body to move the way it's meant to move. But because of our current lifestyles that we're so sedentary and we sit so much, like everything's just getting locked up. Like we're not.
My husband's been working on that. A lot of the mobility, and he just really, he's an office guy.
Right.
He's almost 40 years old. He realized like how stiff he is.
And how sedentary, like if you're behind the computer working, and how you don't, like, unless you start watching how many steps you take with like a pedometer, or watching, if you've got a watch or your phone, if you're tracking steps, you don't realize how little you're moving during the day.
Yep.
If you're in an office, you don't pay attention to then how much you're sitting, how tight your hips are getting. If you have lower back pain, it might not actually be your back. It might be stemming from your hips are all locked up. And so we did have an episode that we talked to Mandy about all of her mobility stuff. And I did actually buy her program, and I've been going through it. And like, she's got great stuff. It's only like 9 minutes. You get a pick from a library, and there's a bunch of different choices. But just kind of like general movement of getting yourself like open and moving a little bit, it makes a huge difference. So I would definitely add in to that mix, understanding your big loaded movement patterns, but then mobility. And if you don't have stability too in your core, in your joints, you're also not going to move well over time either. And so some of those things can kind of layer, and you can do them simultaneously, but some things need to have dedicated effort, So if it's me, I think I've talked before about 3 days a week, full body.
Yeah.
If you can't get in 3 days a week, if you could at least start with 2. Yeah. And even if you're doing, say, 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps or 8 to 12 reps. Yeah. That's a great start. And then as you get in the habit of it, then you can maybe slowly add in like that 3rd set, right? And you don't have to get crazy with your exercises. You could literally do just like a back squat with wherever you're currently at, whether it's a body weight squat, it could be a bench squat. You could actually load it with a barbell or dumbbells. And then if you do any kind of deadlifting, Google videos about a proper hip hinge. Yeah. Because
it's easy to not do right.
It's just easy to squat. Yeah. Again, like if your first joint that's moving when you're trying to deadlift is your knees. Yeah. It's bad news. Yeah. Like that's not the point of that particular movement.
It's supposed to be like sticking your butt out, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And we all kind of sit, right? And so we sit and we tuck our hips kind of under us. Like we don't sit up in chairs correctly either, right?
No, I mean, we should
definitely be like up and straight backed and all the things. And so it's like we're already slouching. So our hips are kind of like rotating under us. And so unless you get used to it, you will feel like you're sticking your butt out. Yeah. But I would say to look at you from a distance, I'd be like, no, you're actually just standing up straight. But it's the difference in our own reality based on how our hips are because of how much we're sitting. Does that make sense?
No. But I appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm not even going to try. You want me to try to like show you? Yeah. Okay. So if you're sitting in chairs and you're like sitting like this, like I feel like this is a pretty common posture, right? When you've got somebody kind of sitting, all of us are sitting about the same, right? Your hips are rotating kind of more up, right, forward. So then when I stand up, I'm going to try to do this with the video or with the microphone still. You know, my hips are kind of like rotated under because that's how I was sitting.
Right.
Okay. Now, if I try to hip hinge correctly and you're going to stand up straight, like this would probably feel like my butt's like really far. And it's really not. All of a sudden you're just like, oh no, you're actually like standing upright instead of having it curled under you. So then if I was to go stand up against a wall, like one of my favorite drills is to stand with your heels both against a wall and then do one actual physical foot length of your own foot. Put your next foot and toe to heel, right? And so you're like one step, one foot length away from the wall. And then you got to push your hips back.
Right.
Like don't bend your knees and go down. Take your butt like you're using it to shut the car door. And you're pushing that force back against you. That's the hip hinge.
Okay.
Or that's the foundation of it, right? And there's some other things you got to pay attention to, but you want to do that because if you're bending your knees, you're just squatting more. Yeah. If you're squatting more, then you're putting more emphasis on the front of your legs, which can create imbalances between the front and the back. And your knee stability is not right because you're not equally strong everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I think it's maybe time for a little quick ad break.
For more content, follow us on TikTok at Nacho Fitness Coach. Okay, we're back.
And then we want to push and we want to pull. So think push-ups is an easy one, right, to get going with because you get your chest. And then I don't like to start with pull-ups because especially for women, like pull-ups are just really hard.
I tried
for most of us.
Do one the other day.
How'd it go?
I didn't. Do it. Didn't do it.
No. And so,
is it easier to go? Like, what's a pull-up? Is it hands facing in?
A pull-up is technically hands away.
Hands away.
A chin up.
Okay.
Is when
I don't remember what I did, but whatever it was, I couldn't do it.
To you, and so sometimes it just kind of depends on like what feels more comfortable. But for a pull-up, I mean, you want to do something that's your back muscles primarily.
Yeah.
Because then you want your front and your back to be even too for your upper body. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like pull-ups are hard for most people.
They're hard.
So you could press something above your head instead, like dumbbells or a barbell, like up. But a lot of times people will push that in front of them instead of like straight up because they don't have the shoulder mobility or their chest is tight to go above head like that. So what you can do to get started to build strength for a pull-up is just to do holds. So like get yourself up really super high and then try to hold at the bar and then like slowly let yourself come down and then try to go up again. And that's actually a really good starting point then for your back versus feeling like you're just failing with the whole pull-up situation. Core is not abdominal work at all. I do not.
Yeah, I know you hate abdominal work.
It's not, I mean, it's not good for especially women that have had babies.
Yeah.
If we're not paying attention when we do quote unquote abs, all we're going to do is keep pushing our abdominal wall out further. Like you've got to pick exercises that help kind of pull that.
What are those?
In. Anything that's rotating your hips now back up the other way. So one that I really actually like is if you're laying flat on your back and you say you pike your feet up towards like the ceiling, but keep your legs straight together. And then try to kick a ceiling tile out. So you're raising your hips up off the ground and trying to push your legs up. Does that make sense?
No, could you show me?
Oh my gosh. Okay, of course. How did I not know that this was coming, right? So, okay, here we go. All right, so see, I'm on my back.
Yeah.
Okay, that part was self-explanatory, right? And here, up at the ceiling, here, and it's like this.
Oh. Huh.
See?
Yeah, I see.
Do you want a different angle?
No, I'm good. I got what I wanted.
You know, we don't have as much space as we did in the other conference room, so I'm trying to lay on the shag carpet here.
So, how many of those do you do?
I mean, I would start with just 10 because they should be slow and controlled. You know, you're not trying to use momentum.
What about like a leg raise? I don't know.
Yeah, you could do that too, but you also want to make sure that if your strength is not quite, or if you're building your strength, so it's, you know, got some room to keep growing, sometimes if you get your heels down too far to the ground, if you feel your lower back coming up, you don't want that, right? You want to be able to make sure that lower back is staying tight to the ground. Yeah. And so the way to fix that is just to not take your heels down so far, like straight, like keep them up, but then take them down to where you kind of feel that starting to give and then just go back up. But it's the same thing. Like you want to keep that.
Yeah. Cause I do those and then I do sit-ups. I don't know if you hate that.
I don't love them, but you know, it's whatever. So, you know, we have some options, but core work is not just, you know, front. I mean, you can do Supermans, which you know what a Superman is, right? Then you're on your belly and you're raising your hands and your feet and your heels kind of up because it's like that whole cylinder around your midsections, not just your abdominal muscles. So you got to take all that into consideration and do a little bit of everything, but you don't have to come up with brand new exercises every single time.
No.
Get a list, get what you can do to squeeze into your time that you have. Start with 2 sets of every exercise and add as you go, but then track your progress. Yeah. You know, when we had a chance to talk to Daphne in season 1, or in episode 1 for the season, she, you know, mentioned just progressive overload. Yep. And what that term is just finding a way to do more each time. And every few weeks, maybe you back off a little bit just to give yourself a little bit of a break because you also cannot keep stressing your nervous system forever and ever and ever. And so, you know, there's different, you know, programming that you can follow, but do something for 3 or 4 weeks consistently. Try to get, or if you start to feel like you're not as strong anymore, then that's when you need to have a rest week or a week that you go lighter, but maybe still go through the motions, like a recovery, or they call them like deload weeks. Yeah. And just be able to do that. And so then from there, then you can ramp it back up slowly. Yeah. But that, I mean, that's a really simple workout structure. Yeah. To use that you can make and create, and you can swap out a few exercises here or there, but just think of those movements.
Good. So then I feel like I'm doing fine.
Yeah. You know what you're doing at this point. And you just don't have to be crazy. Everyone tries to get like really wild with their programming and make things over. And I was like, it's not. Just be simple and be consistent.
And it's like, you know, POV, you did, you know, you started doing this and now your waist is snatched. Like,
you're like, no,
that's not how that works.
Social media is just one big highlight reel. And it's all about the clicks. Like once you learn that it's just garbage, then just, you don't even try anymore and just do your own thing. That's simple. The simple, boring, plain stuff is what's going to work.
And nobody wants to hear that, but you know, that's what we're here to tell you.
And that's really actually all it absolutely is boring. So, but that's what it is. I mean, it's just boring. It's consistently boring over time. But as long as you're showing progress, and when you're not, give yourself a rest week and then just keep going. And that's it. That's all you really take. It's all.
And then if you have a little, you know, mentee bee situation like I did over the summer, then you know.
Then you focus on just a couple things that you can still control.
You have those foundations you can kind of fall back on and be like, you know, I'm not lost.
No, and you kept those.
Need to be doing. Yeah,
you kept those 2 key elements in your routine, and it still helped, and it made a difference. But that is the thing. Like you also have to give yourself some grace and know that life is going to take you through ebbs and flows, and it's okay. But just also try not to be like, oh, I'm just going to throw everything in and now go with the deep end.
Because that's what I've always done. I'm like, well, that didn't work at all, so just throw it all away.
So even when it was less than perfect a few months ago, you weren't back to like, oh, well, I'm just going to scrap it all. No. Control what you can control. The rest of it will be fine. It'll come back again. So there you go. I don't know. That's kind of just a little bit more, I feel like, a detail about workout plan. But if you have any questions about your workout plan or what you're doing or exercises that would fit into those categories, be sure and, you know, find some of our stuff on social media.
Reach out to Sarah, not me.
Comment in the one of us will answer. Probably be me. You know, the episode, whatever, just comment somewhere you see.
We love hearing from people. We don't hear from people enough.
Nope. And just ask the question, and you know, happy to help and kind of put you in the right direction. But it really just does come down to finding schedule, making it a priority, and just doing the work.
Being consistent.
And from there, you're going to be golden. It's going to be great.
And your life's going to be so happy.
So happy. And just don't say panties. With the term we use around here is underwear. So now that we've got that all clear, we're good. That's it. I think that's it.
I
So
appreciate you.
you're welcome.
All right.
So until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.